Okay, so here we are. This is a breathtaking view. As you see, I'm standing on the edge. It's amazing. And this is one of the things I actually wanted to point out when I was talking about health. Because this is the very things that you can do when you are healthy. You can come up here, climb up here actually, and take a look. Just take a look, just take it in. It's amazing. I never see something like this before. So where we left off with the macronutrients, proteins. We talked about essential proteins and we talked about non-essential proteins. Now I would like to talk about the protein quality, okay? And why is that important? First of all, we walk into a store, there are many labels, and some labels say you know, this is organic, this is natural, this is non-GMO, this is doesn't include any antibiotics whatsoever. But the real thing that you have must watch out for is the USDA label. It stands for United States Department of Agriculture. It's normally a green and white logo. Sometimes it's grayish now. It depends on the packaging, but that's a clean meat quality. And by the way, when you walk into a good store, also it shows that it's 100% grass-fed if you are a meat eater. But again, I'm highly recommending that if you're an athlete, and even if you're not an athlete, start to mix it with plant-based proteins, and more eat plant-based proteins that doesn't include meat and meat source. That's the to-go. It's gonna give you more energy. You're gonna have so much more juice to push through the day, push through the trainings, that you won't believe it until you won't try it. So try it. That's number one. Number two. I mentioned in the previous video about protein and meat source, right? And it's becoming a problem because we're processing the meat, and during that process we are mixing in, unfortunately, not we, the manufacturer, mixing in sodium and some kind of sugar or some sort of sugar, which makes it a very dangerous ingredient. Why? Because now the meat has been processed, has a probably higher amount of saturated fat. B is including sodium, and C, it may include some sort of sugar. So what that does, actually, I hope you guys heard about osmotic pressure. But what that does really, it goes into your system and it sucks out from your cells the liquids. That leads to faster aging. And you can check up osmotic pressure and see the real deal. So osmotic pressure is really balancing out until the pressure is stabilizing. So the sodium and the salt is here, okay, and it's gonna start to suck in, like the water is here, suck in the water, and it's gonna start to suck in until pressure is start to balance. So everything that they find in your cells, chemically speaking, it will be removed from your cells and gets into the sodium and gets into the sugar, the processed sugar. That's why when we aging faster because we eating processed foods. Processed foods can be found everywhere these days. Okay, 80% of the produce in the supermarkets are processed. So it's just no longer just talking about proteins, but in general, processed foods. Okay, so this is very important thing to remember, specifically when we start to talk about carbohydrates. But back to proteins. So we talked about the protein quality, what label you should watch out for. Why is that so important? Why is that so important? Because if you eat meat and you eat clean meat, okay, and you cannot put it down because that's what you love to eat. You eat a clean source. You eat a clean meat that doesn't have any chemical in it, or the chemical is so reduced that it's no longer going to bother your body functionality and natural flow. Okay, but still watch out for the amount, again, because it contains saturated fat, and saturated fat is not great for your cardiovascular system and your heart. So if you eat a lot of it, in the end of the day, it's going to make you ill and going to make you sick. So that's what I wanted to mention about proteins. We are going to talk about proteins later, how the body utilizes protein, and why is that important or becoming important if you are an athlete. That being said, I'm 100% eating plant-based proteins, and I feel energetic. I have enough muscles. I keep up with my kids, who are, by the way, athletes, and they 18 and 19 years old. So there, that's enough proof, should be enough proof. So I would like to cut this short because I'm here and I just love this. We're gonna show here some workout routine as well, but we are going to go to a different location. So enjoy the view, enjoy the workout after this video. It will be cool. We're going to show you a warm up, and we're going to show you a boxing video. Stay tuned.